In the news, Governor Monday Okpebholo said to probe predecessor's former Governor Obaseki. Security beefed up at Edo PDP Secretariat in Benin City aftermath of thugs invasion. Plus, oldest Catholic priest passed at 104. Hello, warm welcome to VOS TV Main News. I am Victoria Okpebholo. We begin with politics. Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo will on Tuesday inaugurate a 14-man state asset verification committee to probe his predecessor, former Governor Godwin Obaseki. A statement released by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Fred Itoa, indicates that the decision is in line with Governor Okpebholo's initiative to set the state on the path of development and accountable leadership. The statement indicates that despite repeated calls for a more holistic database of assets and liabilities of the previous administration of former Governor Obaseki, the government only came up with scanty liabilities of the state. The committee, according to the governor's chief press secretary, is to be chaired by Dr. Ernest Afolabi and Anselm Ojezua as deputy chairman. Other members of the committee include Prince Kasim Afogwa, Taiwo Akerele, Razak Bello, among others. The statement states the committee will be inaugurated this Tuesday at the Festival Hall of the State Government House in Benin City by 1 p.m. Recall that Edo APC Transition Committee of a 25-man headed by former Deputy Governor Pius Odubu had recommended to the governor to set up an institution of inquiry into the finances of the state led by former Governor Godwin Obaseki. Meanwhile, former Governor Godwin Obaseki media aide Crusoe Osage has described as laughable and ridiculous Governor Monday Okpebholo's move to probe his predecessor. Crusoe Osage, in a statement, says Governor Okpebholo is attempting to use meaningless probes to mask what he described as gross incompetence and unpreparedness for the office of the governor. He says former Governor Obaseki ran Edo State's most transparent government, which is globally acclaimed to be accountable and prudent in the history of Nigeria. The ex-governor media aide frowns at what he described as meaningless ongoing probes of civil servants, departments and agencies, even vehicles and other state assets. Crusoe Osage in the statement advised Governor Okpebholo to stop the probes and focus on governance and improving the lives of Edo people. Edo State residents are expressing reactions as Governor Monday Okpebholo said to probe former Governor Godwin Obaseki's administration. In this report, Esosa Omorugbe feels their pulses.
The Chief Press Secretary to Governor Monday Okpebholo, Fred Itoa, had in a statement last week unveiled plans by the governor to inaugurate a 14-man state asset verification committee to probe the immediate past governor of the state, Godwin Obaseki. The committee, constituting some former federal lawmakers, is to be chaired by former APC governorship aspirant Dr. Ernest Afolabi. Reacting to the move by the governor Okpebholo, a cross-section of Edo State residents were divergent in their view on the governor's decision.
He has to investigate the past government because he did not do anything now. If there is something he did, I think our governor will not investigate anything for me. There's nothing good in Benin. Somebody that came to Benin last 8 years, see the same thing this year. There's nothing he did in Benin. We must investigate Obaseki. He must tell the party, I must tell our governor what he did with Edo State money.
Nothing wrong if any coming government want to probe an outgoing government, provided it must be loaded with facts and figure. I don't like prejudgment. If you know Obaseki are aired and it's actually aired, drag him. It's not Obaseki you are dragging. You are fighting for the people. I've been here just talking about. One road, very bad. During a lot of, if I want to name names of so many governors who were there, a lot of good roads in the 60s, in the 50s that were quite okay. They all turned footpaths. If they heard and they found out that Obaseki has cheated the people, they should drag him.
Another administration came behind and actually want to know whether the presidential walkway is actually good to prove. Because as he's doing, the one that will be coming behind him will equally follow the same thing. It's good for us because what the problem of Nigeria is corruption. So if we start fighting it that way, all of us will be happy.
Anybody that is coming in need to know how the former governor People they seen, they need to investigate them to know how they spend the money so that the country can move forward.
I think that is right because we want to know if what the man spend the money on, he spend it well or he not spend it well. Maybe that's the reason why I want to investigate the man. I don't think it's wrong investigating somebody.
Why some commended the development, noting it as the right step in right directions, others believe is too swift in actions.
Well, I think as for me, if you say they want to investigate, for me, it's not proper. It's not now yet at all. There's a parable they used to make. They say when a fowl get to a place, we step one leg down. So by still doing as a first, you have not been 100 days in the office, by setting up a committee, I think it's not ideal at all. So you have to sit properly and look around and know what next to do. It's not by be probed, or rather to focus on eyes on something that is not unusual. To me, I think let the past be the past, well, let the present. Remember at the time of Oshomole, when Obaseki entered, despite the PDP, APC, wherever, but he continued for where Oshomole stopped. So he never called him one day to say, come, and why this or why that. And today, the Benin, we are all happy. So where the Edo lights, we are happy for all.
But for me, I feel it's too early. And I also feel because they are not in the same party. Because like other governors now, once they are in the same party, things like this does not come up. So for me, I feel it's too early. Supposed to have at least settled down, look at the jobs before you even start thinking of what he's doing now.
The 14-man State Asset Verification Committee to probe former Governor Obaseki is to be inaugurated this Tuesday at the State Government House in Benin City. Esosa Omorogbe reporting for VOS TV News.
Security operatives have been beefed up at the Edo State Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party on Airport Road, Benin City, aftermath of Thugs invasion who allegedly were targeting election petition documents. Esosa Omorogbe was at the Secretariat this Monday for an update.
A visit to the State Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party, situated on Airport Road, Benin City, revealed a handful of security personnel stationed within the premises to foster further breakdown of laws.
It was an issue of some vandals coming in here.
Speaking on the developments, the State Publicity Secretary, Chris Neihahe, says that the party is saddened by the ugly incident and it is awaiting the outcome of the police investigation.
Well, I think it was an issue of some vandals coming in here, destroying property of the party, especially the billboards and banners, going into the offices, destroying the furniture, and catching away with some electronic equipment, computers, and other electronic equipment in the offices, and vandalizing it. And the case has been reported to the police, and I think the police are investigating the matter right now.
Neihahe expressed optimism that the police will bring the perpetrators to book.
Well, the eyewitnesses said they were led by a certain man called Kapwepwe. I think they described him as the younger brother to Tony Kabaka. So that's what they described who led them here as. I was not an eyewitness, but from the reports we are having and information we have, I think that's a fair and accurate description of who led them here.
Armed thugs had on Tuesday last week invaded the Edo State Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party and unleashed terror. Esosa Omorogbe reporting for VOS TV.
And now to the other matters. Governor Okpebholo has appointed Suleiman Alede as the new managing director of the Edo Broadcast Station, EBS. The reports. This announcement was contained in a press statement issued by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Fred Itwa, who highlighted Alade's extensive experience in broadcast journalism and his significant contributions to local and international news channels such as Al Jazeera, SABC, and GB News UK, Arise, Classic FM, among others. Alade is a graduate of philosophy from the University of Benin. He began his media career at Edo Broadcasting Service, while while still a student. His early career also saw him serving at Ebonyi Radio during his National Youth Service Corps NYSC scheme, where he made history as the first corps member permitted to read the station's major news bulletin. This diverse background in both local and international media positions Alede as a strategic leader for EBS. It is hoped that his appointment will bring the needed transformation to the state station. More reports to come after this time out. Stay glued to VOS TV and don't go nowhere.
VOS TV Nanja.
Welcome back to VOS TV Main News. The much anticipated 2024 Youth Convention of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Edo Province 13, has been held in Benin City in a grand style. Austin Ayani's report here is presented. The event, which took place at the provincial headquarters Latter Days Assembly on Siluko Road, attracted the presence of the provincial pastor Tijani Lukman, the regional youth pastor Elijah Ojete, Latter Day Parish pastor Festus Ayedun, the regional youth president Francis Ikediro, the provincial youth pastor Kingsley Chiamarobi, his assistant Taiwo Dada, the former provincial youth president, Joseph Eweka, a gospel artist, air praise, and a host of others. The program, which was themed Realm of Glory, had in attendance youth draw from all the zones in the province. The event started with an electrified worship and praise session, which set the mood for the program. In a welcome address, the provincial youth pastor Kingsley Chiamarobi, while appreciating the congregants for their attendance, highlighted the essence of the gathering.
God has called us together tonight into this atmosphere of the realm of His glory. And what does it mean? By the virtue of what God has determined to do in the life of certain individuals that are here tonight, is that in no distant time you will be enthroned in that realm of your glory in the name of Jesus Christ.
This was followed by a prayer session led by the provincial youth president Pastor Osaru Wese and the regional youth president Pastor Francis Ikidaro.
Oh God, employment, we thank you. We give you praise. Let's appreciate God for those houses, God, for the fruit of the womb that are married. And Lord, we have started this day. If you are not praying tonight,
Speaking on the theme of the program, Realms of Glory, the chief guest pastor Elijah Ojete explained that the glory of God can manifest in different dimensions. He illustrates scenarios for such dimensional manifestations, pointing out that it is the glory of God that influences things to fall in pleasant places for believers.
The Shekinah kind of glory is a glory that when you most into a gathering, everybody will acknowledge that God is here. By manifestations and evidence, God is here. There will be doza kind of glory, they call it doza. That doza is a word that tells you that this one is revealing the character of God. It unveils the goodness of God. It unveils the graciousness of God. It unveils the intrinsic nature of God, but it also unveils part of it in judgment of God.
He said God has a designed glory for every believer, which he or she must strive to attain while on earth. He admonished the congregants to shun mediocrity and sinful acts capable of hindering the glory of God in their lives. Rather, strive to show forth His glory through righteousness.
As soon as man obeyed devil and ate the fruit against the commandment of God, man fell. And then Romans chapter 3 verse 23 now said, and falling what? Short of the glory of God. So that the glory volume that we carried have been reduced to a level that will not allow us to fulfill the plan of God.
On the spot, Pastor Joseph Eweka said God has deposited enormous glory in believers but are being hindered by work of the flesh and enemies. He demonstrated how enemies and sins can prevent believers from reaching their glorious destination.
Because the Lord has been lifted, she can move freely. There are some of us today, the reason why we are stagnant in that is because there's a lot of load in our lives. We can't move forward. We can't go forward. The Lord is suppressing us. We want to do it by strength. But the Bible says, by strength shall no man.
He therefore enjoined the congregants to harbor unholy life and exercise faith in God and do his bidding in order to exercise the full glory of God in their lives.
To carry enough light is to carry enough glory. To carry enough light is to do what? Carry enough glory. The amount of lights that you have determines the level of glory you carry.
In a business talk session, Pastor Taiwo Dada explained the importance of business and technological skills to Christians in their quest to advance God's kingdom. He noted that it is God's intention that believers should prosper, hence they should apply themselves to productivity. While highlighting some principles that could yield economic productivity, he challenged the congregants to be more creative and innovative, stressing that if they were to remain relevant economically in this generation, they must be ready to upskill their skills and be problem solvers.
It's not absolutely wrong to do business, but it's our business is glorifying God. So I want us to know that what we're trying to talk about this morning is as important as it is the message of the Lord. That God is interested in what we do. Our God is a creator and is creative. Our God is innovative. So obviously they are talking about innovation. God has been an innovator for a long time. Our God is an entrepreneur. Our God is a business owner, and our God likes increase. That's why
he, however, warned that these things should not be pursued at the expense of God's word. The program also featured the performance of a guest minister, Air Praise, who treated the congregation with powerful ministrations that ignited a frenzied atmosphere in the auditorium. The event also featured choir ministration, convention came to a climax with an open-air praise at Champions Assembly Arena, Ogida. To conclude the bulletin, Nigeria's oldest Catholic priest passed away at the age of 104. A statement released by the Catholic Bishop of Auchi Diocese, Most Reverend Gabriel Dunia, indicates that Monsignor passed away at approximately 2:30 a.m. on Sunday. The statement reads that Monsignor of the Catholic Diocese of Auchi was the oldest priest in the diocese and Nigeria at large. While praying for the peaceful rest of the soul of the departed, Most Reverend Duna says his remains will be laid to rest on Wednesday, 27th of November 2024. Meanwhile, the state governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, has commiserated with the Catholic community following the demise of Monsignor Olehi. In a statement through his chief press secretary, Fred Itoa, Governor Okpebholo says the exemplary life of late Monsignor Olehi is a worthy lesson for Nigerians. Governor Okpebholo says that Olehi's humility, sacrifices, and the lives he touched would never be forgotten. Right Reverend Monsignor Thomas Olehi hailed from Igodo town in Agenebode, Isako West local government area of Edo State. And that is the size of our news bulletin. On behalf of the producer Jude Awake, I am Victoria Ukwamedwa. Thanks for watching.